Okay, we are back for episode 11 of the Aperture project. I realized that I needed to take a break, or at least find a better balance in how I was doing this, because it was becoming a little bit too much doing it daily. I was up until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning at times editing these videos, and whilst I'm still building that skill, it was just too much for me to kind of bite. Too much for me to take on all at once. I may return to a daily thing at some stage, but for now I think once a week's a little bit more manageable. So how this is going to be structured is I'm going to go through 3 things each week. I'm going to go through what I did that previous week, what I learned within that week, whether that be technical skills using Adobe Lightroom or Photoshop or equipment related, and the last section is going to be what I'm doing that next week ahead. So let's get right into it. We are going to start off with what I did this week. I had 2 events on this week. One of them kind of popped up a little bit late. Actually, both of them kind of popped up late. I knew about one, but I wasn't 100% sure if I was doing it or not. The first one was the Basketball Victoria Under 20s championship or tournament that they've started, I think it was last year, and has really grabbed this year. It's a really cool tournament. They play it all over the shop. The quarterfinals were on last Sunday night, and there were 4 games going all at once. I would have to look at the photos to get all the teams, but there were some really good games. One of them in particular went down to about the last half of the 4th quarter. The second event that I had on to actually caddied for someone for 2 rounds of golf for the Q School. For those that don't know what Q School is, just quickly, there are a certain amount of spots available on the PGA Tour, the Australasian Tour, given out each year through this Q School process. There's a few stages to it. The one that I caddied at was the Heritage Golf and Country Club in Chirnside Park. My guy missed out on the cut by about 3 shots in the end, but I also turned that into a photography opportunity by going out and getting some snaps of him during a practice day the day before the first round. Kind of a scrappy week because both of these events came through a little bit late. Caddying job I didn't find out until about 2 or 3 days beforehand, and then Sunday I was in and out until I knew what my day was going to look like. I didn't know if I was going to make it in time because I finished work and then it was a rush. I had to leave work early, get everything done, leave work early to get there. So there was heaps that I learned this week. It was, I need to capture more. I need to get more for this video each week, whether that be B-roll, whether that be me talking to the camera. I got some stuff of me in the car in between places, which I'll try and use and put in where I need. For now, I'll use kind of screen capture while I'm editing, or I'll just show photos from the week that I took photos or video, hopefully, down the future, down the track. But yeah, that was the main thing, was for me to be able to do this, I need to capture more. I can't just be like, oh, that's what I learned, and then talk back to a camera. That's not entertaining, that's not fun for you. And also it doesn't help me get better at it. So I need to be better at documenting, I guess is probably the best word for it. What else did I learn this week? I got better within Adobe Express. For those that don't know, Adobe Express is what I use for my photo editing. For those that follow on my Instagram, you would have seen my post on Tuesday. This really basic looking white border around photos where the image pops out over the background or over the white borders, and you've only got a portion of the background in the image. And I think it looks really cool. It's a very effective edit. So I'm getting better at that. I've made it more efficient than when I originally learnt it, so that's kind of cool. What else did I learn? I kind of nailed down my process a little bit more within Lightroom for my photo editing processes. I have a bit more of a process in which I edit things, the order in which I edit things. That's pretty important, and I go through that pretty much every time now, which is good. It's just becoming more efficient at that. What else? The last two things that I learnt this week, one of them again, more to do with this is the schedule that I need to keep in order for this to work. Obviously, this is week 1 of what it might look like, and to stay on top of it, there does need to be a little bit of something almost every day for it to be worthwhile doing, for it to be entertaining for you, for it to be worthwhile for me to learn more as I go. And then the last thing, which I'd say I've leaned on a little bit to kind of help me, is using AI. The last one is probably, it's not the biggest one, but I'm definitely using it more and more and learning more about it as I go, is using AI. That's been very helpful this week. So I'm gonna get better at that. I don't want to lean on it for content creation. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because then it's truly changing what I'm doing. If I can incorporate it into some things that I'm doing, if I can use my images and maybe